Bienvenidas, bienvenidos, mi gente. So I've been asked to do a series on Sabiduría de Señora Latina, or wise Latina sayings or advice. So let me know what you think. Here's the first one of a series, and we'll see if we can share some things that we've learned through these decades. But first, this is Latinaliterati. We are going to delve into the wisdom of our traditional sayings. So if you were raised Latina or Latina adjacent, which means maybe your grandparents or an aunt or neighbors may have been Latinos, you probably heard some of these sayings. And so I thought the best way to impart these kernels of wisdom that have come down to us for generations is to share them in context, give you examples, kind of have fun with them, and of course at the end give you some really good book recommendations. So the first saying, which is probably one that I heard at least weekly, is "Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres." Literally translated means, tell me who you walk with, tell me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. What does that mean? Well, it means that the type of people that you surround yourself with is the type of person you're going to be. So are you surrounding yourself with people that are supporting you, applauding you, and you are applauding, supporting, cheering them on as they go through their educational goals or their professional goals or starting a business or whatever it is that you and those around you are doing? What are the types of people that you need around you to make it easier? And so they can be friends, they can be family, but we all know people who fill a room with positive energy, who fill a room with hope, with humor, with just a joy to be around and help us get through whatever issues, obstacles, problems we may be having. And so those are the types of people that you want to surround yourself with. Doesn't hurt if they have good manners or they have their goals, they're hitting their goals and they're working towards a productive and positive role in their family, community, and society, because that's probably what your abuelita wanted. Your abuelita probably wanted you with people who are going to lead you down the right path, as some would say, the righteous path, the path of good. Helping others, encouraging others, making sure that we all have what we need. And of course, that goes back to my constant mantra of buying local, helping local businesses, buying things from your friends and family that may be selling things. Let's keep our economy local, and that's how we help each other at the economic level. But at the spiritual and emotional and other levels, we need to make sure we're okay. And we do that by surrounding ourselves with people who help us and who we also help when they may need that of us. So remember what your abuelita, I'm sure, would have said to you. Dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. I'll tell you who you walk with, and that will tell you who you are. So be careful the company you keep, basically. There are thousands of these sayings, but I thought it might be fun to focus on just one or two in each video. And you tell me, that's enough, or keep going, or I'd really like you to focus on whatever. Tell me in the comments what you think, because we want to make videos that you enjoy and can impart some kernel of knowledge or help for you. So a second saying that, again, I heard at least weekly growing up was, "Más sabe el diablo por viejo que por diablo." What does that mean? It means respect your elders because they really know what they're talking about. And literally it means the devil knows more for being old than for being the devil. So that means that when an elderly person, when a person who is older than you is imparting their opinion and their wisdom, listen to them. There are reasons why they have lived this long. And if they have done well and they are on the righteous path and you see that they are successful in their family, in their community, in the context of their profession and their business, listen to them. Listen to what they are saying. And again, you need to decide whether you're going to take everybody's counsel or you're going to take the counsels that the opinions and the advice that you hear and kind of distill them and say, okay, this really applies to me, or this is really helpful. This may not apply, but it's good to know. And so again, más sabe el diablo por viejo que por diablo. The devil knows more for being old than for being the devil. Pretty much just synthesizes what every young person is told when you're coming up Latina. And I think these are two of the iconic sayings that we are raised with. So again, there are thousands of these, and I've even considered putting them together in a book because I feel like there aren't enough books with our dichos. And these are so ingrained in us that they're almost second nature. And I find myself repeating them to my own children and my own nieces and nephews because they just are kernels of golden advice. So tell me what your favorite dicho is. Let me know what you may have heard as a child from whatever culture. And I'm sure that there are many parallels. And now on for my favorite part of the video, the book recommendations. And I thought I would focus on a couple of classic books that actually have sayings in them. And so, for example, if you have not read El Quijote by Cervantes, you should. You can read it in the original, or you can read it in modern Spanish, or you can read it in English, or you could read it in an abbreviated version. There are all sorts of versions. But there are so many amazing sayings in that. And one of my favorites, because a dentist actually said this to me in Mexico once, that más vale un diente que un diamante. A tooth is worth more than a diamond. And if you think about it, your teeth are pretty important. In fact, we now know that they are indicators not just of longevity, but many, many, many things that may harm you through your life actually come through your mouth. Anyway, I won't get into the details, but it's a beautiful saying, and this first novel in history written in Spanish is well worth your time if you've not yet read it. And if you have read it, read it again because it's well worth it. And as always, your library will definitely have a copy of it. Check your local booksellers. Really well worth reading. The second book that I'm going to recommend is Agua para Chocolate. Again, this goes only to about 150 years ago, where you have the United States invading Mexico and you have people going back and forth. And again, there is a magical realism to this story that I think just focuses on the reality of what it means to grow up Latina. So there is what people say is real, and then there are things that you know or have seen that happen. And we have all seen things that would be considered magical realism, I would say, if you spent any time in Latin America. And I can give you an example. There was a woman named Paula who helped my grandmother make bread every morning. And Paula passed away, the doctor said she'd passed away, and they were at the burial, and she sat up and said, "I'm hungry." And you can imagine what happened. People couldn't believe it, and she would live another 5-6 years, over 100. Just so many stories like that you can't imagine. And of course, the classic magical realism and wonderful book is House of the Spirits, one of the first books by Isabel Allende. If you haven't read it, also worth reading because of the inclination of the wisdom of not just Latinas, but our culture in accepting all sorts of things that may not seem real to some people, but are absolutely real to others. And so I just think that's part of one of the central themes and beauty of our culture is that we are magical. There is magic around us. So it's part of why we have one of the happiest indexes on earth. We're happy people, even when the world around us may not be that happy. So I am so grateful that you have joined me on this joint journey. I would love to hear from you, what you think of these sayings and what sayings you grew up with. What books would you like us to talk about, or what books are you reading this summer? So thank you so much. And as always, con mucho cariño, mucho salud, mucho amor. Gracias.